Hello, everyone, and welcome to the studio's next segment of our virtual play reading series. Thanks so much for joining us again on a Friday at 1 o'clock p.m. My name is Grace Sadiq, and I am the director for this piece and others in our series. Just wanted to take the time to say a special thank you to all the folks working behind the scenes to make sure that we have a play streaming into your home every Friday at 1 o'clock p.m. here on our Facebook page or on our YouTube channel, The Villages Entertainment. Today, we have a really great reading for you today, The Squirrel Plays, written by Mia McCullough. I'm really excited to get through this piece and our talkback that will be happening about 5 minutes after the end of this stream. We actually have our playwright, Mia, joining us for that talkback as well. So be sure to jot down any questions you have as the play goes through and come back and talk with us and the cast about the play. This is actually the 11th play in our series. We've been we've been performing these for you since April, and we're really happy that you're still with us, and we hope to continue to do so as well. All right, I believe that's it. Next, I just want to introduce the cast. Hello. All right, Sarah French, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself for us?
Sure, I'd be happy to. I'm Sarah French. I'm reading Neighbor 2 this day. I don't know what time you're watching at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I am an actor here in Winter Haven, Florida.
We have Nathaniel.
Howdy, I'm Nathaniel Nemi. I'm reading Man, and I'm coming to you from Leesburg, Florida. I'm a theater maker, and glad to be here.
Allison.
Hi, I'm Allison. I'm playing Neighbor 3. I'm in Claremont, Florida, and I am a maker of all sorts of things.
Leslie.
Hi, y'all. My name is Leslie Munson. I'm living here in Lady Lake, Florida, and this is my first time joining everyone for the virtual reads. I'm very excited to be here.
Happy to have you. Valea.
Hi, everyone. I'm Valea Woodbury. I'm reading Realtor, Exterminator, and Animal Control Officer. I am a native New Yorker, and I'm currently in Atlanta, Georgia.
We have Chantel.
Hi, I'm Chantel Kognovich, and I'll be reading The Wife. I am currently in Pensacola, Florida, but I live in New York.
And we have Sarah Lockard with us as well.
Hi guys, I'm Sarah Lockard. I'm reading the stage directions and I'm from Orlando, Florida.
Great. All right, so sit back, relax, and please enjoy this read of The Squirrel Plays, written by Mia McCullough. Can I have actors to places for top of show, please? Actors to places.
Place, suburbia. Time, now. Setting, a nice house. Scene 1, realtor and wife stand in bare room, looking.
It's a nice house.
Yes, a very nice house.
So pleasant.
The nicest on the street, I think.
And the garden.
Maybe the nicest on the market.
But not the cheapest.
No, well.
This is a nice house.
Yes.
Yes.
Well-maintained, perfect size, attractive neighborhood. I need to ask.
Here.
I need to ask.
Anything.
Are there squirrels
Locally?
on the property?
I don't think.
I don't want squirrels.
Well, you should have an exterminator check before signing anything.
Is there a history of squirrels getting into the house? Has there been problems? Is there a way to know if the house is prone to squirrels?
Prone?
Susceptible.
Easy penetrated.
Penetrated.
Infested.
Is there a way to know if this is the sort of house that squirrels are drawn to, feel welcome in?
Because we don't want that.
Is there a reason you're asking about this house in particular? It hasn't come up before in
The first house we really like. I mean, we like this house, right?
I love this house.
There's no point in asking if you don't like the house.
I see. Well, there's no documentation on squirrels, infestations and the like. You could ask the neighbors.
That's a fantastic idea. I'll ask the neighbors.
Here. He doesn't want squirrels.
Some people don't.
No.
And you don't want them either?
Oh, well, you know, they're cute and all, but they can be so disruptive, and, well, we just don't want them in our home or trampling our garden, taking up our free time. They don't suit our lifestyle.
Understandable.
We didn't bring it up. Well, sometimes people judge you. You say you don't want squirrels and people assume you're hateful, and we're not.
Of course not.
It's a choice, really.
Absolutely.
Whew. Next door neighbor, he says no squirrels in the house. Not in his memory. Says there aren't that many squirrels on the block.
That's wonderful.
Are you ready to make an offer?
I think so, but could you give us a moment?
Of course. I'll be out front.
Realtor exits. Man and wife stand together, arm in arm, looking out the window.
I love the garden.
I know.
The woman who lived here, she took such care. All the bulbs she planted.
She must have hated squirrels.
Not necessarily.
No, trust me. If you like gardening, you hate squirrels.
I hope I can keep it as beautiful as she did.
I'm sure you will. We will. I can help in the garden.
We're going to love it here.
I know.
Scene 2. Lights up. A bed and chair have appeared. Wife sits in chair, reading. Something outside catches her eye. Man enters.
Honey,
Oh goodness, you startled me.
what were you looking at?
Nothing.
It wasn't nothing. You practically had your nose pressed against the glass.
I was just spying on a neighbor. She's gone now. Did you come to ask me something?
A squirrel!
Just on the fence.
You were looking at a squirrel.
Maybe it was a rabbit.
It's not. I can see its poofy tail. Why were you looking at it?
Because it was there, because it caught my eye.
Caught your eye? I bet you thought it was cute.
No.
Like you asked it in for tea.
You're being ridiculous.
Were you going to tell me? Were you going to even tell me that it was in the yard?
It wasn't in the yard. It was on the fence, perched on the fence for half a moment.
On the fence is a very dangerous place to be.
It's gone now, see? You scared it away.
Good.
Honey, it was barely even there. Barely even the idea of a squirrel. It was nothing.
They said there were no squirrels. We were sold this house under false pretenses.
Honey, it's the suburbs. Of course there are squirrels. You knew that.
You didn't lure it, did you? You didn't will it here with a secret desire?
No, there's no desire. Only for you.
Okay. Maybe I should get a BB gun.
You can't hurt it.
Why do you care if I hurt it?
Because you shouldn't hurt things. It's not Christian.
We're Buddhist.
Even more so.
You're not changing your mind, are you?
No.
I mean, the house, the yard, the garden gnomes, it's not making you want squirrels, is it?
No.
Scene 3. Man is in bed, reading. Woman enters.
Sex?
Not tonight.
All right.
There's a block party next week.
Is there?
Good opportunity for you to meet the neighbors.
What about you?
I've met the neighbors.
All of them?
Well, no, not all of them. Some of them at the neighborhood association meeting.
Did you ask about squirrels? Dear?
I didn't want them to think I was weird.
Not weird.
Not at the first meeting.
You should have asked if there have been problems.
I was talking with Alice. She lives behind us and 2 houses over. She was pointing out a hole beneath the eaves outside this window.
What?
Next to the satellite dish. We were chatting earlier and she asked if we knew about it. You can see it clear as day from over there.
There's a hole?
It's not big. Maybe the guy who installed the dish.
There's a breach in our perimeter.
Honey, you won't be able to see it right now.
We've been living in an unprotected house. There could be a whole colony.
We would have heard them. You can patch it up tomorrow.
Why didn't you tell me earlier?
I didn't want to ruin the evening.
Did you put that hole there?
What are you talking about?
Did you?
No! It had to have been the guys installing the dish. It's right next to it.
Get the exterminator back in here. Have the house re-examined.
You can patch it in the morning. Everything will be fine. It's good that we know.
You're right. It's good that we know.
They read. Suddenly, the pitter-patter of little feet from inside the wall.
Did you hear something?
No?
You don't hear that?
No. Are you all right?
We should go to sleep.
Sleep or,
Sleep.
Scene 4. The pounding of a hammer precedes the lights coming up on wife sitting in chair.
Honey, don't damage our house.
You don't want a squirrel in here, do you? Eating away at our home?
No.
I'm doing this for you. For us. To protect us.
Just don't hurt the house.
Ugh. Okay. I think we're secure now.
Oh my God.
Did you say something?
No.
Husband is now level with wife, though still on ladder.
Look, we're like Romeo and Juliet. How does it go?
I have no idea.
Something about the east and Juliet is glowing like the sun.
I don't think that's it.
Regardless, you're glowing.
Don't say that.
You should kiss me.
She leans out window and kisses him.
I love you.
I love you too.
This is perfect, isn't it?
Yes.
Scene 5. Wife is in bed, reading. She puts her hand to the wall.
Stop it. You have to stop. I haven't forgotten you're in here. Believe me, I haven't forgotten for even one moment. I just haven't figured out what to do about you yet, okay?
Man enters, stops when he sees wife.
Were you talking to someone?
No. Going over a brief for tomorrow's meeting. Didn't even realize I was speaking out loud.
Are you feeling all right?
Of course.
You didn't eat much at dinner.
I wasn't hungry.
And you seemed especially tired.
It's been busy at work.
Oh my God.
What?
You hear that? There's a squirrel up there.
No!
I shut it in there.
Maybe there's another hole.
No. I checked every inch of the house. I nailed it in.
What do we do?
We're gonna have to kill it.
Tom?
I can't stay up there. It'll nest in the insulation. It could chew the wiring, set the house on fire, burn it down, screw up the cable.
We have satellite.
There are still wires.
Are there?
Dancing?
Well, we'll get it a trap, one of those humane traps, and we'll release it.
No, I can't go up there. I can't face it.
I can put up the trap up there.
How?
Through the trap door in the ceiling of our closet.
No, you can't allow it into the house.
I won't.
Now it's contained. It's isolated. You can't engage with it or you'll get attached. You know how you are, Sarah.
So open the hole up and we'll wait for it to leave.
More will come. Do you want multiples?
You're being hysterical.
We have to let it die up there.
Tom,
The only solution.
it'll smell. Our whole house will smell like death.
No, it's dry. It's sealed off. Just promise me you won't go up there, Sarah. Promise me. Don't let it in.
I promise. I won't let it in.
They're dangerous. They spread disease.
We should go to sleep.
How can we sleep?
It's not making noise anymore.
I'm going to sleep downstairs.
Man takes pillow and exits. Scene 6. Wife enters with exterminator. Exterminator carries a small have-a-heart trap with a pith helmet with a light on it.
It's over here.
The wife goes to the raised platform and pulls down a ladder. They climb the ladder, push the trapdoor up slowly, and peer around.
Thank you for doing this with me.
It's not a problem.
I'm nervous.
Lots of people are.
The whooshing sound of an ultrasound as the exterminator scans with the light. A tiny, fast heartbeat.
There we go. Over there.
It's so little.
Common gray tree squirrel.
He looks scared.
You shouldn't anthropomorphize. It's not a person. It'll only make you feel worse.
You don't think it's afraid?
You don't think it belongs here. That's all that matters. You figure out how it got in?
A hole. My husband sealed it up.
Sometimes, if you leave it open and put a bright light up here, play loud music, create an inhospitable environment, they leave all on their own. Too late for that now. Well, that should do it. You can check it in the morning.
I'll be right down.
Okay.
Exterminator descends and waits.
Hello? Hi? Okay, stay over there. I'm not going to do anything to you. I'm sorry you got locked up in here, but you're going to have to leave. I brought this nice trap. It won't hurt you. All you have to do is get caught and we'll take you somewhere nice, far away. It's nothing personal. I don't hate you. We just don't want squirrels. I'd be a terrible... It's better this way. And Tom, he really can't handle it. Where'd you go? Oh, okay. Sorry if I startled you. Allergies. Anyhow, I'll come up and get you in the morning, okay?
Wife descends.
What if it doesn't work?
We try poison.
Scene 7. In the darkness, the sound of the tiny, fast heartbeat continues. Lights up on man, listening to the wall with a stethoscope. Wife enters.
What are you doing? I said dinner is ready.
It's still in there.
Of course it's still in there. It's only been a day.
I can hear its heart beating.
What? No, you can't.
I can hear its heart. I think it's right on the other side of this wall, taunting me.
You're being crazy.
Listen.
Oh my God.
See?
I don't think I should have listened to that.
You can't deny it anymore. After you hear that. Oh! Ow!
Well, don't do that.
It's gonna figure out how to get in here and suck the life out of us if it have to chew its way through the plaster.
I think it's drywall.
They're ferocious eaters. What if it never dies?
Everything dies.
But what if it takes a long time?
It won't. It's only been a day. Come down to dinner.
You don't look good.
It's a little cold. Come and eat.
I'm not sleeping up here until it's dead.
You're hurting my feelings.
It has nothing to do with you.
Scene 8. Wife climbs back up to attic crawl space. The trap is empty. She looks around with a flashlight until she sees the squirrel.
Shit. Where are you? Look, you have to get your butt into this trap. My marriage cannot survive your existence. My God. Look what you've done to the insulation. That's appalling. How could you have done so much damage in just a short time? Make yourself so at home. He will leave me. He will. He can't handle this. He won't. It's in the prenup. Are you shaking? Am I scaring you? Don't tiny animals shake normally as a habit? Maybe this is normal. It doesn't feel normal. You must be hungry. Maybe starving you isn't the right tactic. We'll just eat the house. Don't hurt my house. Look, I'll be right back.
She closes the trap. After a few moments, she returns with a small bowl.
So here's the deal. I put these oats in the trap and you go in there. That's the deal.
Scene 9. Lights up on wife opening the trap door.
Come on, you are not cooperating. And you ate the oats. How did you? Sneaky, sneaky critter. Smart. You look better today. Not so shaky. I, on the other hand, look like the walking dead. You don't understand what this is doing to me. I don't want to kill you. I really don't want to kill you. You're cute, and I'm sure you've got a nice personality, but really, my marriage and my well-being are more important. I will sacrifice you. I will. I have to. I pray every night that you'll die on your own peacefully so I won't have to do anything drastic. Can you hear me? Can you hear me praying?
Scene 10. Wife in bed, reading. Man comes in, wearing pajamas.
I just came up to say goodnight.
Okay.
Have you heard it?
Not since I got into bed. Won't you sleep up here?
No. Are you all right? You look tired.
I am.
Can you sleep with
He keeps me up sometimes.
he?
What? I don't know.
He. You're getting attached.
No,
You should sleep downstairs with me.
the bed is too small.
How do you know it's a he?
I don't.
And why would you say that it's a
I
he?
just imagined, decided.
You're imagining.
No.
Don't lie to me.
Look, sit down. I should tell you. I put a trap up there.
You promised.
To not let him into the house. Yes, I promised.
Is it gone? Did you catch it?
He won't get in the trap. He takes the food.
You're feeding it? No wonder it's still alive. You're nurturing it.
I was trying to catch it. It's not working, and I need to try something more drastic. I know that. Tomorrow I'll switch to poison.
Don't let it hurt you.
It's not hurting me.
You don't look good.
It's not related. Trust me now. It'll take the poison and it will be over.
You're so brave.
It's hard on me.
I know.
No, I mean your absence.
I'm right here.
You're not sleeping with me.
I can't. Not with it up there.
You're the one who wanted the dish.
You're blaming me?
No, I feel as if you're blaming me.
Once it's gone, everything will be fine.
You mean once it's dead?
Gone, dead.
It's not the same.
I'm going downstairs.
Scene 11. Wife climbs ladder and peers into attic. She holds a dish of rat poison.
Look, I'm sorry. I feel really terrible about this. But are you giving me a choice, really? I can't take care of you. I don't want to. I'm not good with... Anyhow, it's good to know you, though. I mean, I know I don't really know you, that we're not on the same plane of existence, but you seem really sweet, little critter.
Scene 12. Wife lies in bed, ill, her ear pressed against the wall. Man sits with her, holding her hand.
Do you still hear it?
Shh. It's gone.
Oh, thank God. Are you all right?
I'll be okay. They say I'll feel sick for a few days, not just because of the poison. They said I was having a reaction to the squirrel.
Knew it. I shouldn't have made you deal with it on your own.
You were afraid.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Exterminator peeks their head in.
Hi.
Hi.
The poison should have had its effect by now.
It has. It's dead.
I'm going to...
I don't hear the pitter-patter anymore.
You grew attached.
Yes.
It happens.
I don't believe in killing things.
Sometimes it's necessary.
It's against my religion.
It's against most religions.
But mine means it. Will God hate me?
I'm just the exterminator.
Say something that'll make me feel better.
The disruption is over. Things will return to normal.
Disruption.
Exterminator climbs the stairs. Lights fade as they open the trap door. Then lights rise as they close the trap door and descend, carrying a plastic bag with something in it and the empty trap.
All done.
Could you tell me the gender?
You want to know the gender of the squirrel? Male.
Are you done?
Yep.
Thank you.
Will we ever have another?
Not if you're careful.
We'll be careful.
Not that it's impossible. Anything's possible. Nature is persistent.
Yes.
We're going to be very careful.
You can always call me again if you need to.
I don't really like you.
Dear, sorry.
It's all right. I'll see myself out.
I killed it.
We had to.
I know, but I killed it.
It was necessary.
That doesn't make it right.
I think it does. It didn't belong here in our life.
So should we kill everything we don't want?
It's going to eat your house from the inside out.
You don't know how it feels. You didn't do it. You didn't say sweet things while you were serving it poison.
I paid for the exterminator. Do you hate me now?
No. It was a boy. I was right.
Did you love it?
Yes. I didn't mean to, but yes.
More than me?
No, of course not. It was just a tiny critter. I hardly even knew him.
But you loved it still.
I tried not to.
I'm glad it's gone. I'm sorry if that hurts you, but I'm glad. I can come back to bed now.
Yes.
You missed me.
Of course.
He climbs next to her in bed and rests her head on him.
I love this house.
Yes.
We're going to be so happy here.
End of play. Compensation. Scene 1. Wife sits reading. Man looks through stack of mail.
Did you see this?
What?
This.
What is it?
The bill.
Oh, yes, I saw it.
It's outrageous. Don't you think it's outrageous?
I thought you paid it. At the time, you said...
I was upset. I asked them to bill us.
I'm still upset.
I know, but still, this.
It's a lot.
A lot.
It is a business. People have to make their money.
I don't think we should have to pay.
You don't...
No.
It was our house, our property, our squirrel problem.
Don't get upset.
You brought it up. You should just pay it.
It feels wrong.
We can afford it.
But what if we couldn't?
We can.
But what if we couldn't?
I suppose we would have done it ourselves if we had to. Maybe made our own trap out of wire hangers or something.
Don't be ridiculous. No one makes their own squirrel traps.
People do all kinds of things when they're desperate, when they have no other options.
What about the neighborhood association?
What about them?
I think they should pay it.
You.
We pay them these dues every month. What is it for?
Snow removal?
It doesn't snow here.
Sometimes.
Hardly.
Security.
Security. They can't keep us safe. Things happen, obviously.
But for something that happened inside our own home,
We were invaded.
we'd have to tell people.
There's no shame.
I think there might be. I think I feel it.
Scene 2. The neighborhood ladies sit around the table having tea.
We were so excited to hear you're taking an interest in the neighborhood association.
I feel like I've kept to myself.
It happens when people first move.
There's so much to do.
I didn't mean to be antisocial.
No, no one thought that.
We had problems with the house.
Flooding?
No, does it flood here?
Well, if it rains enough.
Does the association cover that? Damages?
No.
An act of God.
Nature.
Though, when the winds blew down the fences, and the trees on the easement.
If there are certain things, communal property.
We had squirrels.
You took care of them.
Well, yes, there was only one.
We had unplanned squirrels.
You did?
Multiples. A whole litter. It happened right after we moved in. We were newlyweds, never owned a house before. We had no idea how to handle it.
Young and naive.
Did you use an exterminator?
Oh, no, we didn't do that.
The Rothschilds are very humane.
We waited until they were old enough to leave the nest. You have to be patient. It's a commitment, but then you don't have blood on your hands.
I have terrible allergies. The situation was compromising my health.
Well, then an exterminator is the only way to go.
Father Jason helped us relocate them, found a nice family that was looking for some squirrels for their yard. We visit them sometimes.
Oh, that's nice.
I wasn't judging you.
No, I know.
We have 4 now. We love squirrels.
Do you have squirrels?
2. 2 is all we wanted. 2. And 2 is all we have.
You're lucky. If nature wants to grab a hold of you, blow down your fences, flood your basement, put squirrels in your attic, there's not much you can do.
You can take precautions.
Nature is a powerful force.
Yes.
What about Linda, the association president?
Oh, no. Linda and Bob don't have squirrels.
Linda likes order.
And Bob hates them.
He and Tom have something in common.
Have you met Carla over on Elmwood?
No.
She has lots of squirrels.
An excessive number. She lures them in with food, harbors them, builds little houses for them. So, of course, they congregate in her yard. I mean, why would they ever leave when they're being coddled like that? I can't even keep track of which ones are hers and which ones come from other yards, other neighborhoods, God forbid. I won't let my squirrels go over there.
Is hers the place with all the whimsical birdhouses?
Yes, aren't they pretty? I love them. Carla's an artist.
If you can call painting birdhouses art.
She's also a social worker. She works with disadvantaged squirrels.
I see. And what do you two do?
We stay at home.
I volunteer quite a bit at our church.
Do you work outside the home?
I'm a lawyer.
Is your husband a lawyer too?
He's a blogger.
A what?
A blogger. A reporter, but freelance. He writes articles online. He used to write for a paper, but, well, papers.
I didn't realize you could make money doing that.
Does he work from home?
Is he here right now?
No, I think he's at the library. Sometimes he works from home.
This is such a nice house.
Thank you.
Have you done much to it since you moved in?
Not really. Paint.
Alice and Dan have been renovating their place for ages.
A few months.
Haven't taken their turn at hosting the association meeting in forever.
Everyone would get dusty. People have allergies.
I have terrible allergies.
See?
Excuse me.
Wife exits.
I keep up my duties as secretary.
Sarah, I apologize for my tardiness.
It's not a problem. Please come in.
Neighbor 3 makes an entrance, wife trailing in her wake.
Ladies, have you been by the park?
Our park?
There are painted birdhouses and feeders everywhere, about 20 of them.
Oh, they must be Carla's.
Of course, they're Carla's. Did someone give her permission?
Wait, is this the art installation? She did petition for a public art exhibit in the park.
That's right. At the February meeting, we approved it.
Is there something wrong with the feeders?
But they're attracting squirrels.
Is that not their purpose?
Are we paying for the birdseed she's using? Bob and I don't believe in handouts, especially for the vermin.
There aren't any.
Yes.
What?
Some of them have darker fur.
You mean they're black squirrels?
Yes.
I haven't seen a black squirrel since I was a kid. One of my friends had them in her yard. I could never understand why they'd be on one side of town, but not the other. I didn't know we had any around here.
Don't worry, we don't.
Worry?
They're quite common on the other side of Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Well, of course they're over there, but that's outside the association. There's no reason for them to be in our park.
Well, you can't expect them to understand borders, boundaries. They're squirrels.
I certainly can expect it.
There's nothing in the association bylaws that says there can't be black squirrels in the neighborhood.
I would hope not. That would be discriminatory and illegal. I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time understanding the severity of the issue.
Once a melanin-abundant subgroup moves in, it's almost impossible to get rid of them.
There's nothing wrong with them, of course, but we like our gray, regular squirrels. They fit the image of the neighborhood.
Well, what about the Fergusons? They have black squirrels.
They're different. They're very wealthy.
And the husband is quasi-famous.
How is that different?
And honestly, they keep to themselves. It's not as if their squirrels are going to be intermingling with the gray squirrels, but the squirrels in the park, anything could happen. What if they start breeding?
Oh, don't even say it.
I don't care who my squirrels breed with. It's really not my business, is it?
Alice can be a tad naive.
Once, when I was stopped at the train crossing, I saw a mixed squirrel. Literally, the front half was black and the back half was gray. It was so adorable.
We need to have a meeting about this art installation.
Would you like to host it, Sarah? It's a good way to meet the neighbors.
No one comes besides us.
Are you hosting then? Of course not. The endless construction. Then it's settled. We'll do it here.
Scene 3. Wife is reading. Man is watching her.
Did you ask?
I asked around it.
So you didn't ask.
It was a social call. I didn't want to turn it into a thing. But it doesn't sound like the association covers those sort of damages.
Well, maybe they should. Maybe they would if someone brought it up.
It was a terrible experience, Tom. I don't want to turn it into another one.
It's about what's right, what we should take responsibility for as a community. And squirrels, the whole village is responsible for the squirrels. There shouldn't be so many. It's an environmental issue, if you think about it, a population issue.
They have no natural predators anymore, not here.
We're natural predators.
We're above that now.
Except for the people that we paid not to be.
Maybe we could implement some kind of birth control.
How exactly?
Put it in their feeders. They do it in zoos.
To squirrels?
No, to echidnas and elephants and the like, so they don't overpopulate.
You want to sneak birth control into the neighborhood bird feeders.
No, not sneak. We could make it available for those neighbors who might want fewer squirrels around. It seems like it would be less costly than extermination in the long run, both on an emotional and practical level.
You can't expect other people to control the squirrel population. The world is full of idiots.
We must be idiots too, then.
All I'm saying is we only ever have control over what's in our own house, our own yard.
You mean you have control?
What?
Oh, we're hosting the next association meeting. I said we'd host. You think?
Good. Perfect time to ask.
You can't make a scene, Tom.
We'll be bringing up an issue. That's what meetings are for.
I don't want to be ostracized.
Why would we be? Are you expecting someone?
No.
Oh, thank God you're home.
Are you all right? What's happened?
I've let a squirrel into my house.
On purpose?
Of course not on purpose.
This is Nancy from the Neighborhood Association. My husband, Tom.
I was at a friend's place. I parked in his garage, so I didn't close my car windows.
Why would you park in someone else's garage?
Shh. He must not have taken proper precautions for his garage. And I didn't realize. I thought maybe on the way home I heard scratching, but then I stopped at a stop sign or a light, and there was nothing.
Oh, God.
And then I parked in my garage, and when I went into my house...
It followed you in. Oh, I am so glad we don't have an attached garage.
Well, I tried to catch it myself, but it keeps evading me. I have to get it out before Richard realizes.
We can give you the number of our exterminator.
Is it very expensive?
It's not cheap.
You shouldn't have to pay for it all if you ask me.
Tom,
You're the victim here, a victim of someone else's negligence.
I shouldn't have been so careless.
Don't blame yourself. Sarah may have told you that we had problems of our own. Trust me, when you get the bill, it's like being victimized all over again.
now is not the time.
Neighborhood association, if they could cover it. Part of it even, especially since it clearly is a neighborhood-wide issue.
Please go write down the contact information for the exterminator, Tom.
Is he serious about the neighborhood association? My husband is treasurer. He can't find out.
I thought you were treasurer.
I am technically, but Richard handles the money. He's obsessive about money. He needs to know where every penny goes. He can't know. I don't want anyone to know.
No, of course not. I understand.
Scene 4. The living room has been arranged for a small meeting. Man and wife do not sit together.
The first order of business is to discuss Carla's defilement of the park.
Isn't defilement a strong word?
Art is subjective.
But the fact that these feeders are attracting squirrels, that's not subjective. That's a safety issue.
I agree, Tom. I propose that we tell Carla that she has to take her installation down, but the association demands it for the well-being of the neighborhood.
What if she took down the feeders and left the birdhouses?
I still think it sends the wrong welcoming message to outsiders.
Was there a written agreement for the installation? An agreed upon period of time?
She submitted a written approval. We agreed and then told her verbally.
So we can verbally tell her that the pastel atrocities are a public safety threat and must be destroyed.
Linda!
I think removed is sufficient.
I'm sure we can persuade her.
Pressure her, you mean?
Did anyone invite Carla to the meeting?
She wouldn't come.
But did anyone?
I told her.
You did?
It seemed only fair, if we wanted to be fair.
But she didn't come. I think that says something.
It says that she knows she was provoking us.
Maybe it says we've hurt her feelings.
Perhaps we could distribute birth control and then the squirrel population in the neighborhood would be more manageable, less threatening. And if we put the birth control in Carla's feeders, then maybe the installation could be part of the solution and not the problem.
Are we supposed to pay for this birth control, even those of us who have opted to live squirrel-free? And how does that solve the problem of squirrels from other neighborhoods congregating in our park?
Look, I don't want us to get off track. I think we can all agree that those feeders, or structures, whatever they are contributing to the unwanted squirrel problem in the neighborhood. Indeed, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the reason we got an unwanted squirrel in our house when we moved in.
We got a squirrel because there was a hole.
You had an unplanned squirrel?
Are you saying we should sue Carla for damages?
Why would you sue her? Has something happened?
No, I didn't. I meant as a community.
That's not what I was saying.
It would be impossible to prove that Carla is causing the problem or even contributing to it.
Oh, there's proof. There are black squirrels in the park now. I saw them the other day, and not just cute little ones either. There were big, menacing ones, and too many of them to have been the Ferguson squirrels. If the Ferguson squirrels were even there. I can't really tell them apart.
No one can tell squirrels apart, but let's try to avoid discriminating based on fur color.
I happen to know that Carla is fostering some disadvantaged black squirrels. It could have been them in the park.
She's running a home for wayward vermin now?
No, it's not a home.
That's definitely a violation.
Are black squirrels prohibited by the bylaws?
Well, no, but she can't.
Does it mention a limit to the number of squirrels one may have? In one's yard? In the park?
No.
Sarah, do you think you might stop interrogating the neighbors for a moment? This is a sensitive subject, obviously, and taking down the art installation should help. But unwanted squirrels aren't going to go away, even with birth control. Sarah and I have seen firsthand that sometimes squirrels just happen. They are a reality of nature, but we should be able to choose whether or not we have them in our lives. People don't talk about infestations. They are private and uncomfortable, and expensive. But any of us is susceptible. Squirrels do not discriminate. They just show up, sometimes violently, sometimes accidentally. And we like to place blame. We do that as people. And we could blame Carla, but as my wife will point out, the law is not in our favor here. But even if we get Carla to take down the feeders and whatnot, it does not address the damage that has already been done to our house, to others' houses, to I don't know how many others who have suffered silently. What I propose is that since the squirrel problem is universal, it affects all of us, like snow, like hurricanes, and because it's a public health issue, the association should subsidize the extermination costs.
Well,
There should be a vote, of course.
that's an interesting proposal. But doesn't it potentially condone carelessness? I mean, if you leave your door open or a hole in your screen, we could end up paying for an awful lot of carelessness. I, for one, am not a careless person, and I would, to be honest, resent having to pay for someone who can't be bothered to take precautions.
I don't think anyone here thinks that...
Tom, you just moved here a short while ago. You can't make judgments about anyone here.
Is this proposal in addition to the birth control?
I think they're separate.
What if Carla got unwanted squirrels in her attic and needed an exterminator? Would we pay for that?
Of course not. Carla's clearly asking for it.
Who would decide then? Who would decide which victims would be reimbursed?
We could have a committee.
Oh, I love committees.
You know, Carla doesn't ask the association for seed money.
What?
Or nut money, or whatever she feeds them. She doesn't ask us to pay to subsidize her lifestyle.
What's your point, Alice?
I don't have a problem with the birth control proposal, but I don't think we should pay to kill things. I don't want to pay.
I'm not certain that I want to either, but if the association votes to include extermination...
I think the assessment should only be used for enhancements. There's a lack of support for living things, and we only have so much money. We can use it on the flower beds, on security guards, safeguards, and improvements, but I don't want my money to kill anything.
Fucking Catholics.
We have an infestation.
Again?
There is no construction. We have an unplanned squirrel, and even though we're stretched with the 4 we already have, I can't give another one away.
But it's going to destroy your house.
Yes, and that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Day and night, I spend cleaning up after them, emptying my body, heart, and soul of every last drop so that they can thrive, and it's exhausting and expensive. Squirrels are very, very expensive. The vet bills, the cashews, but I'm not here asking for money for that, for them. I'm not asking you to pay for my choice, which really, in the end, is much more expensive than your choice. And I resent your asking me to pay to kill anything, much less a wide-eyed little innocent such as my own. It's selfish. And I've never judged, and I don't think less of anyone. I don't think extermination should be banned. I understand that sometimes it's necessary, that not everyone is up for it. And really, if it's not my house, my yard, I don't think it's any of my business. But don't put blood on my hands by making me pay, not for that. I should go. Thank you for hosting, Sarah.
Well,
We'll have a vote then.
just us?
No, everyone.
The whole association.
Will there be an explanation of why? Maybe we should go door to door.
That sounds like campaigning, persuading.
No, to raise awareness.
We'll type up a memo explaining the proposal. That should be sufficient.
Regarding compensation for extermination or birth control or both?
I guess we can do both.
Alice usually writes our memos.
I'll do it.
And my husband will look over it with you.
But this doesn't even affect Bob.
As Tom pointed out, it's a universal issue.
You'll be vague, discreet.
Fingers shouldn't be pointed at any party, not even Carla.
You realize if this passes, if you want to be compensated, well, a committee or panel will have to discuss the circumstances. People will find out.
Not everyone,
No.
just the committee.
But that's a violation of privacy.
If you want the community to cover your expenses, some privacy will have to be foregone. People have the right to know what they're paying for.
But what if someone's too embarrassed to approach the committee?
Are you embarrassed about something?
No,
Maybe committees are a bad idea. Maybe a form could be submitted confidentially.
Someone still has to process the form, and then it's not confidential anymore.
Some people might not want a record, a paper trail.
A reminder, even.
Well, I think that's putting the cart before the horse. It has to be voted on first. You'll put together the memo, Tom?
Yes, I'll go over it with Bob.
We should review the memo just to be sure it represents everyone as a group.
You don't trust me?
It's just good sense on a subject as sensitive as this.
Fine. I'll distribute copies as soon as we draft it.
I think we should adjourn.
But what about the park, the feeders, our agenda?
Someone should talk to her about taking them down.
Scene 5. Lights up on an empty living room. Wife crosses, answers the door.
Oh, Nancy, come in.
Thanks.
Is Tom still at your house?
Yes, with Richard and Bob going over the memo.
You've been at it a while.
Lots of opinions, I guess.
I don't understand why. How it suddenly got turned over to the men?
Oh, it always happens on issues that affect the bylaws. Bob is the alderman, so he gets his nose in these things.
I didn't realize. Can I get you some tea?
No, thank you. I shouldn't stay long. Richard doesn't even know I'm gone, but with the heated discussion going on, he probably won't notice.
How heated?
I need to ask you... This is awkward.
Are you all right?
I need money. The extermination used up the rest of my allowance for the month, and I literally don't have enough to feed us or the squirrels without asking Richard for money. And if I ask Richard...
You'll ask why.
I don't want to lie to him again. I can pay you back at the beginning of next month. I get a substantial allowance. I just didn't prepare a budget for this sort of contingency.
That was insane. Oh, hi, Nancy.
Everything okay?
Yes, we sorted it out.
May I see?
He hands her the memo.
Bob's making copies for distribution.
Before anyone can comment on it?
I tried to tell them that you wanted to...
I should get back.
1 second, Nancy. There's nothing about birth control.
We decided to table that for a later date.
Why?
Everyone felt it was a separate issue, a separate vote.
But it could prevent further infestations.
I know, but we decided to stick to infestations that have already happened. And trust me, even that was quite the conversation. I'm actually pleased that the memo turned out as well as it did.
The language is completely biased.
It's not how I would have worded it, but...
To pay for unforeseen weaknesses in our fellow neighbors' foundations, frameworks, and garages. Weaknesses in our fellow neighbors?
Was it Richard who put garages in there specifically?
I thought we decided that committees were too much an invasion of privacy.
I should get back.
We did, but Bob and Richard...
Wait just a moment.
Where are you going?
To get something for Nancy.
Oh, you don't have to right now.
Don't worry.
Thanks for letting us use your house.
Everyone does.
Wife returns, carrying a cookbook.
Here you go. Page 200 is the recipe.
Thank you. Really.
No problem.
I'll get it back to you as soon as I can.
I'm not worried about it.
You two have a good night.
We will.
Good night.
Neighbor 1 exits. Wife balls up the memo and throws it at the man.
I tried.
Scene 6. Lights up on neighbor 2, man and wife in the living room. Neighbor 2 holds papers in her hands. She wears clothes that perhaps now reveal a baby bump. A large paper shopping bag sits near a chair.
I've brought the ballots.
Excellent, thank you.
Linda said you would count them?
Honored to do it. There's only 5.
Yes.
Did people not get the memo?
No one reads things.
Maybe they forgot it was today.
Maybe. I asked the Shermans, saw them on the way over, if they thought they probably threw their ballot away.
Does no one care?
Not really. No one pays attention to association business except for the people involved, except for the ordinance on holiday decorations. That got attention.
But it's a public health issue.
People don't like to talk about killing things.
But to not even vote.
They'd rather think about blinking lights.
Did you count them?
No, just my job to collect them. My last official act as secretary.
Sarah mentioned you'd resigned.
Yes. You'll let us know the outcome?
Yes, of course. You could stay. It won't take a moment.
No, I should go.
Thank you for coffee yesterday.
Of course. I was glad for the company. We'll have to do it again.
I like that.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
I can't believe only 5 people. It had to be only us from the meeting.
It didn't pass.
It didn't?
It didn't. 4 to 1 against. You didn't vote for it.
Was I required to?
For something that would have benefited us?
I don't think turning a small personal tragedy into a huge bureaucratic nightmare would have benefited me.
So you voted against it because you can't forgive yourself.
No, I voted against it because I think it's wrong to ask others to pay for our private matters. Because I don't want a paper trail, because I don't want to think about what I've done anymore.
Don't get emotional.
It is emotional.
How could you vote against something that would help us?
Because we don't need their help. I will pay for the extermination bill. I will take the responsibility if it can be over. Do you not understand what stringing it out has done to me? What any of it has done to me?
I never realized you were so selfish.
What?
That you would vote without considering others. Others who cannot afford extermination, who might have to live with the unwanted squirrels because of you, our neighbors.
What do you care about our neighbors? You haven't even met most of them. Didn't even introduce yourself to Carla before you had her artwork taken down. Don't pretend you care because it suits your need.
So you went over to Alice's, had coffee,
Yes.
made an alliance, visited the squirrels.
She's a nice person, and I need to make friends. I've been too isolated since the move, since...
Was Carla there?
Yes, she's nice too.
I'm sure.
She's sad about having to take the installation down. She gave several of her pieces to Alice to put in her backyard. They're lovely.
So you're friends with squirrel people now.
You should hear yourself.
What's in the bag?
It's a bird. It's not a feeder. It won't attract squirrels.
The man pulls out a birdhouse painted in bright swirls and polka dots.
We can hang it inside. It doesn't have to be functional.
Animals have already been in here.
Not squirrels.
Contaminated.
They won't even fit.
Did you pay for it?
Some. It's very well crafted.
I'm disgusted.
It was my money, the same money that will pay for the bill.
I don't want it in our house.
Then we'll put it in the backyard.
No, I'm throwing it away.
You most certainly will not.
She wrestles it away from him.
What's happened to you?
What's happened to you?
She begins to exit with birdhouse.
Where are you taking that?
This is my house too, you know.
She exits. Scene 7. Lights up on the bedroom. The birdhouse hangs on the wall over the bed. Wife sits in bed reading. Man sits in bed. Book closed on his lap, fuming.
You realize you've drawn a line in the sand.
It's just a birdhouse, Tom.
You know damn well it's much more than that.
Can't I have a piece of that art that represents my taste?
Your opinion, you mean.
Are they so different? And when really have you ever left room for me to express either?
You've let shame get the better of you. Bought this contaminated kitsch to absolve yourself.
Absolved myself. No, I don't think so. Perhaps it was a gesture of goodwill, an apology for what was done to Carla.
You've done it to provoke me.
That's probably true.
To hurt me.
To make you see.
See what?
Me.
You want squirrels now, don't you?
No, I don't, Tom. Truly, I am content to let others have their squirrels, but I won't see other people's decisions to care for them as an assault on our choice.
And if they overrun the neighborhood, come into our house, cause damage, cost money, eat up an unfair share of resources, endanger us, spread disease.
You're afraid.
Are you going to take that thing down?
No,
I think you've changed.
I think I have.
I don't know who you are anymore.
I'm not certain you knew who I was before.
I can't sleep in here with that hovering.
That's fine.
We were going to be so happy.
Yes, well,
Man exits. Wife reads. Lights fade. End of play. Eradication. Lights up on the living room. Wife sits in chair, reading. Man enters through the front door, holding a couple of empty boxes.
Oh, hi.
hi,
I didn't realize you'd be here.
I live here.
I know, I came by to get some of my things.
Okay. You found an apartment?
No, I'm at a hotel. Should I look for an apartment? Are things beyond repair?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I saw your blog about our vote.
Did you like it?
Did I like you telling the whole world about my shame and pain?
It happened to me too.
Did it?
I'm sorry that I let my fear be bigger than your
My...
ambivalence.
Try again.
Don't want to get it wrong.
Grief, love, remorse?
Oh, it's multiple choice?
It's all of the above.
A man's screaming in the distance. Bob's voice, distant and muffled. Come back here, you motherfucker! Don't you run away from me! This is my neighborhood!
What on earth is that?
I think it's Bob.
What's he doing?
Looks like he's chasing a squirrel.
A black squirrel?
I didn't notice. Okay, yes, it was a black squirrel.
Does he have a rifle?
No, maybe. Looks like a BB gun.
It looks like an assault rifle. Go see what's happening.
Bob? Hey, Bob! What's going on?
You just stand there, call animal control!
What did he say?
He said to call animal control.
Was the squirrel rabid?
I have no idea.
He's disappeared around the corner.
Should I call animal control?
I feel more inclined to call 911 and report a lunatic running down the street with a firearm.
Isn't it the same number?
Jesus Christ!
911 then?
Scene 2. Animal control officer interviews man and wife in their living room. Throughout the scene, there is the sound of helicopters far overhead.
From your perspective, was he being provoked?
He was being chased with a gun.
No, I mean Mr. Hainsworth. He claims that the squirrel provoked him.
How exactly?
He said that several squirrels were going through his garbage.
We didn't see that. We only saw Bob and the one squirrel running by.
You can't tell us if there were any casualties?
I don't even know for certain myself, ma'am. I was directed to do interviews immediately upon arriving at the scene.
They don't tell you over your radio?
Is that a gun?
Yes,
But like a tranquilizer gun.
it's a 38.
I didn't realize animal control was issued those.
Out of control dog, coyote, the occasional bear. Sometimes tranquilizers don't work fast enough.
But you wouldn't use it on a squirrel.
They're awfully small targets for any sort of firearm, ma'am. And we do try to avoid killing things when we don't have to.
But you do kill things sometimes, otherwise you wouldn't have a gun.
Do you think I should allow dangerous rabid animals to roam your community?
No!
Of course not.
Is it all right if I get back to my questions?
Yes.
Do you know if the squirrel you saw Mr. Hainsworth chasing lives in the neighborhood?
It probably doesn't.
What makes you say that?
It had...
Darker fur.
Uh-huh.
And there aren't really any squirrels of that kind in this neighborhood. We didn't move here because of that.
We didn't even think about it.
Didn't even notice, I bet.
I don't see color.
You're colorblind.
Well, not technically.
So few people actually are.
We were more concerned about the number of squirrels in the neighborhood.
You were.
Their color was irrelevant.
One of those squirrel haters, huh?
Well,
I'm just messing with you. Plenty of people can't stand them.
I just want to be clear that my dislike of squirrels has nothing to do with their color, because we've noticed a certain anti-black squirrel attitude among some of the neighbors.
Not all of them.
What about Mr. Hainsworth?
I definitely heard his wife say some negative things about black squirrels, and couples often align ideologically.
Not always. Sometimes they don't align at all.
Not at all?
Okay, not on some very important issues.
So, you don't know for certain if Mr. Hainsworth shared his wife's prejudice in regards to black squirrels.
Did Bob target the black squirrels?
I don't know.
I saw on the news that animal control captured a bunch of them and put them in the back of their van.
Yes.
Did they only capture the black squirrels?
I don't know.
Why would they lock them up in the animal control van?
They were detained because they were being disruptive. The first responders couldn't figure out what happened with them running all over the place.
I'm sure they were frightened, upset even.
Even so, we can't have them obstructing the investigation.
They're terrifying when they're agitated. They run around screeching, scratching at the bark of the trees. I hate that sound.
Dear, don't work yourself up.
Are you ever afraid of squirrels?
No. One guy I work with is terrified of them. All the rodents, rats, mice, voles, squirrels, bats.
Why would animal control hire someone like that?
That's a good question. He's good with raccoons and stray dogs, though. We try to keep him away from the squirrel situations.
He's not over at Carla's house right now, is he?
Who's Carla?
The woman whose yard Bob shut up. Are we almost done? I'd really like to get over there, see her.
She may still be down at the station for questioning.
Why? You said she wasn't even home when it happened.
There were an awful lot of squirrels in her yard, ma'am. Raises questions about what they were doing there.
Has Mr. Hainsworth been arrested?
He's also down at the station for questioning.
Just questioning?
I don't really know, ma'am. Are there any more details that you can think of that might be useful?
We really didn't see much.
When we haven't lived here that long.
All right. Thank you for your time. We'll be in touch if we have any more questions.
Animal control officer exits.
God,
No.
I've got to get over there.
Do you want me to come with you?
No, I'll be fine.
There might be blood.
I'm more accustomed to blood than you are.
Could be upsetting.
It's already upsetting.
Are you sure you don't want me to come?
I'm fairly certain you don't actually want to come. If you want to go for you, go for you. Don't go for me. I don't want you to say you're going for me and then I have to manage your feelings around the blood and the squirrels. I would prefer to have my own feelings.
I'm going to see if reports of this shooting have hit Twitter yet. Check the news.
Okay.
Is it all right if I do that here?
Of course. I'll be back soon.
Wife exits. Man turns on TV. Specials come up on neighbor 1, 2, and 3 in separate spaces, each with a microphone in her face.
There was garbage strewn everywhere.
I can't believe this is happening.
We have no comment at this time.
They chewed right through the thick plastic lids of Bob and Linda's standard issue book garbage cans.
How could anyone? Their little bodies.
I said no comment.
Well, I mean, he had an extreme reaction, sure, but are we not allowed to protect the sanctity of our community?
I'm sorry, I can't.
You allow squirrels to do whatever they want, there's going to be anarchy.
Get that microphone out of my face!
Scene 3. Man is still watching TV. Stunned, glued, paralyzed. Wife enters, shell-shocked. They regard one another.
Are you... I saw you.
You did?
In the background. It's
awful.
Unbelievable. 7 dead.
They said 6.
They did? I saw 7.
You saw? Oh,
2 of them were Carla's.
her foster squirrels, or
Why does it matter?
doesn't? I'm sorry. You shouldn't have gone over there.
I had to. They're our neighbors.
Our neighbors are a bunch of bigoted assholes. You should have heard them on the news. They don't belong here. They shouldn't have been in our neighborhood. They're stealing. I mean, I know I don't like squirrels. I don't. But I don't discriminate against the black ones or the red ones.
Your hate knows no color.
It's not hate.
I know. It's fear. Maybe that's all it is for Bob. Fear. I keep thinking how you threatened to get a BB gun when that squirrel was on our fence.
But I didn't.
Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if we had had a gun in the house.
You can't think that I would have...
People do crazy things when they're afraid, obviously. Has Bob been arrested?
No formal charges have been filed yet.
I didn't think the suburbs would be like this. I thought I was supposed to feel safe, but nothing has been safe since we've got here. I don't think I can live here in a place that this sort of thing happens.
Doesn't it happen everywhere?
Would you mind staying the night? I'm so shaken up. I don't want to be alone in the house.
Of course, whatever you need.
I need to go to bed.
All right.
Thank you for staying.
I'll sleep down here, unless you want. I'll sleep down here.
Scene 4. Lights up on the man asleep in the living room on the sofa. He wakes with a start, in a panic, realizes where he is, calms himself. He reaches for his phone. What he's seeing alarms him.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Wife strides in, holding several clipboards.
I've created a petition, several actually. I couldn't sleep, so I created several online petitions, and we can go door to door with these because I think in times of crisis, it's important to connect with people face to face.
Petitions for what?
To address the gun violence epidemic. This is to ban the ownership of firearms inside the association.
I'm not sure that's constitutional.
Oh, fuck the Constitution. This one is for mandatory universal background checks, waiting periods, restrictions on the size of cartridges, mandatory licenses, and proficiency training, and legal accountability for gun dealers and strawmen.
Is it really in our best interest that gun owners be more proficient at using their weapons?
We do it for cars.
So that people don't kill anyone with their cars.
Why are you being unsupportive first thing in the morning?
I'm not. I'm sorry. I just, this is a lot of petitions. Maybe you could combine them and...
No, you have to make them separate. Attack the issue from every angle. Besides, not everyone agrees with all of them. We have to figure out which tactic will get the most traction and then use that with all of our energy. I've been researching this for hours. Are you even listening? Do you care?
Those squirrels that they detained in the animal control van,
What about them?
3 of them are dead.
What? How?
I don't know. It's unclear.
Where are you seeing this? I didn't get a news alert.
Some people are reporting it on Twitter.
It's not a reliable source.
I report on Twitter.
Yes, but anyone can say whatever they want on social media. I know you don't, but...
There. A local news affiliate just reported it. Can you be outraged now?
Oh my God. Was the van in an accident?
I don't think so.
How did they...
Wife answers it.
Alice!
Did you hear?
About the van?
In the custody of animal control.
I don't understand.
Did they overheat?
They were slaughtered.
What?
No.
Not by animal control.
Squirrels die in the custody of animal control all the time.
No.
They get caught in traps, or unsympathetic neighbors don't like the look of them. They call animal control, and then things get out of hand.
We would have heard about that.
We're religious readers of the New York Times.
The newspaper doesn't cover squirrels. No one cares about them, especially ones from the wrong side of town.
Were the squirrels in the van black?
All of them.
This is terrible.
Were any of them Carla's?
Puffy.
Little Puffy?
What kind of a name is Puffy?
Tom?
Sorry.
Have you seen Carla?
I was just over there.
She must be beside herself to lose 3 in 2 days.
She's inconsolable.
There's definitely a story here.
A story.
Please don't start, Tom.
If squirrels are dying in that custody of animal control,
I'm sorry, was yesterday's mass shooting not enough of a story for you?
it's hardly news these days, is it? Especially since all the victims were black squirrels. Since when did anyone let the black of a few nameless tree rats keep them up at night? But misconduct by animal control, maybe.
It's a story that should be told, Sarah. Maybe not by Tom, but animal control has been hurting the squirrel population for too long, targeting squirrels of color.
Why shouldn't I tell it?
I don't like squirrels.
I don't think they should be killed.
Unless they're in my attic.
That's different.
Is it?
And it's our attic.
Is it?
I'm gonna go.
Wait, before you leave, would you sign these petitions? We have an obligation to the squirrels, to all the squirrels, no matter the color, to make sure they're not so vulnerable to attack. I've drawn up these petitions to regulate weapons here in the association and nationally.
Neighbor 2 begins to sign them all.
You're not going to read them?
I can see them. I honestly don't know if petitions do anything, but it doesn't hurt to sign them.
Will you canvass the neighborhood with me, Alice? Get signatures?
I can't right now. I need to go to church.
What good will that do?
Sarah.
It might make me feel better. And I would appreciate it, Tom, if you not use the term tree rats in my presence. It's derogatory.
I don't call them that. I was implying that other people think of them that way.
Okay. I'll see you later.
I swear, people's delusion that prayers will do anything. We need to take action.
Maybe it's possible to have action and prayers. Prayers to action. Does she think I'm a bigot now?
Will you tweet links to my petitions?
So now Twitter is effective?
You have a lot of followers. I should probably create my own account too. If you could just repost me.
It's interesting that you're willing to go door to door for this, but not for subsidizing extermination costs.
Are you going to join me?
Didn't realize I was invited.
You are if you want. I know you don't live here anymore, that your investment in community matters might be diminished, especially on issues that don't affect you financially.
You can't possibly think that's all I care about.
And whether it provides fodder for your next story.
Did you sleep at all last night? You're mean when you don't sleep.
How can I sleep when the world is like this?
The world is always like this.
But now it's right outside our door.
Alice again?
Alice doesn't bang.
Wife exits to answer door.
Sarah, I'm so glad you're here. Oh, Tom. I thought you had moved out.
How are you, Linda?
Not well. I went to the pharmacy to pick up my anti-anxiety medications and came back to find 15 news teams camped out around my yard. I can't be on camera. I haven't even done my makeup this morning. Can I stay here for a few minutes, get my bearings?
Of course.
Those people literally have my house surrounded, cameras pointed at every exit, and Bob stuck inside like some kind of prisoner.
Technically, if he was a prisoner, he'd be in prison. No offense meant, Linda, but I'm really surprised they haven't arrested him yet.
Oh, they intend to. They're charging him with a hate crime. Bob's lawyer is trying to arrange for him to turn himself in later today, so there's not a scene. Are you having a meeting?
No, I was...
Wife attempts to pick up the petitions, but neighbor 3 is already reading one.
You realize none of these measures would have stopped what happened yesterday. Bob has no prior criminal record. He's a licensed gun owner. All of his guns are registered. He's an accomplished marksman.
Obviously.
And he's not mentally ill. Your clipboards don't account for provocation.
Do you think it's okay that Bob killed 7 squirrels yesterday?
Of course not. But I also don't think it's okay that they were trespassing on our property.
They were going through garbage outside of your property.
That's beside the point. There were a lot of them, and we felt threatened.
Because they were black?
Because they're vermin. These petitions do not make you look very smart, Sarah.
Because I care?
Because you're clearly ignorant. Have you ever even held a gun?
Of course not.
So you admittedly know nothing about the thing you wish to control or the people you wish to control, which is completely clear by these petitions. For instance, assault weapon is not an actual class of gun. They're media buzzwords. There are automatic weapons, semi-automatic.
They're all
weapons.
bad. I would be happy to get rid of all of them.
Not very realistic, dear.
And this one. Do you know the difference between a magazine and a cartridge? Who's going to issue these licenses? What agency? How much will it cost? Can they refuse?
I won't stand by and do nothing.
But you have no idea what you're talking about.
Shut up!
Wife whacks neighbor 3 with a clipboard.
Ow! You have to make some effort
No!
to understand what you're asking people to sacrifice.
Man tries to intervene, but wife chases down neighbor 3 and hits her repeatedly with a clipboard as she rolls herself into a protective ball.
Stop it!
Stop it!
Your rights do not trump the rights of other living beings. I don't care what you have to say. You're wrong and you're stupid. Your husband is obviously compensating for a small penis, and this has to stop right now by any means.
Man wrestles wife away from number 3.
Sarah, control yourself.
The violence has to stop.
She's out of her mind.
She's passionate, and she didn't get enough sleep. Are you all right, Linda?
I don't know.
I'm sorry. I don't know what's come over me. I'm not sorry about what I said, though. I'm 100% correct in everything I said.
Don't you think your behavior negates your argument just a little?
No.
What's that sound?
What sound?
Is it coming from outside?
What sort of sound is it?
Man releases wife and goes to window.
Almost like a chanting.
Oh, God.
What is it?
We have to lock the doors, the windows.
What's happening?
They're coming!
Who?
The squirrels! There are hundreds of them walking down the middle of the street.
The squirrels don't walk.
Angrily scampering.
Oh, they're headed toward my street.
Close the curtains.
A shadow of a squirrel crosses the room.
They're on the house. They're gonna break in. We're gonna die.
And of course, you people have no gun in this house.
Of course not.
How are we supposed to protect ourselves?
Maybe if they know we're on their side, allies, they'll...
On their side?
Carla's out there, and Alice too. And other people I don't know.
Those people are clearly not from this neighborhood.
Stop opening the curtains.
How can you write about revolution, Tom, when you can't even look at it? We have to walk out there and embrace it.
If you go out there, they'll tear you limb from limb. They're animals. They have no self-control.
We're gonna die.
You're just defending the squirrels.
They were theoretical.
I'm going to walk with them.
You'll get hurt.
I might.
Not worth it.
I think it is.
God, that noise.
The sound of change. I don't know how you can resist it, Tom.
Wife exits.
She's insane.
She's always been braver than me.
Do you think they're destroying my house?
We can check on TV. You said the place was crawling with news teams?
Could I see my house from upstairs?
Don't look out the windows. I don't want the squirrels to know I've been harboring you.
Well, I didn't do anything.
Here, we can watch it on TV. It's safer. We can turn up the sound so we can't hear the squirrels.
But we're watching the squirrels on TV.
It's better. We can pretend it's far away.
My house. They're trying to get in the windows.
Are those tanks?
Oh my God.
Sarah! Sarah, come back! I can't go out there.
You shouldn't go out there. I hope they blast those squirrels clear out of the neighborhood, every single one of them.
But Sarah!
She made her choice. Do you mind if I stay here until this gets cleared up?
Scene 5. Wife sits in the living room in a bathrobe, typing furiously on her laptop. Her hair is wet. Her face is puffy. Her eyes? Well, she looks like she got tear gassed. Man enters from inside, fretting.
Did it help?
Yes. Does it look like it helped?
It looks better. Milk.
Yeah,
I never would have guessed.
I know.
You must be exhausted.
I sure am, but I can't feel it yet,
The adrenaline.
I guess.
What are you doing?
Tweeting at some of the people I met last night.
So you made an account.
I said I was going to. That's how I found out about the milk. When I tweeted that we were being tear gassed, someone from the Middle East said to rinse our eyes and face with milk. Hashtag Arab Spring Tips.
Are you following me?
I live with you. I don't have to follow you.
Except we don't live together, do we?
I forgot. You've been here.
Yes. I was really worried about you last night. I must have tried to call you 100 times, sent you so many texts.
I told you I lost my phone.
After the tweets about the milk.
Yes. Then the tanks came and trapped us, herded us, and the squirrels across the tracks. My phone must have come out of my pocket during all of that.
Could have been killed.
I was okay. You'd have known if you'd been there.
You were tear gassed. You spent the night in the park, in the ghetto.
Don't call it that.
You were not okay. Our entire subdivision has been ransacked. There was looting. Those animals tore the siding off of Bob and Linda's house.
They deserve that.
Destroying property is not the right way to make a point.
Very few were participating in that. Mostly it was peaceful protests.
And the tanks.
Where did the animal control get tanks?
Why do so many people come by in the suburbs? Oh, hi.
Is your wife here?
Whatever she's done, you can't arrest her. She needs medical attention.
What should I be arresting her for?
Oh, you probably don't arrest humans, do you? Why are you here?
May I come in? Do you need medical attention?
I'm okay. I recognized you in your riot gear.
I saw you too.
They put you in the front
Yes.
because you're...
You got tear gassed. Me a little bit too.
Can I ask you?
Animal control officer reaches for their pants pockets, and both man and wife flinch as their hand passes their gun.
I found your phone.
Oh my God. You found it. Thank you. How did you know it was mine?
Your Facebook profile. I recognized your name, matched it to my interview notes.
This is really nice of you to bring it over.
Yes, thank you, officer. I wanted to say, I know this must be particularly hard for you.
Returning phones?
No, having your colleagues accused of killing black squirrels. You must be feeling very caught in the middle.
Thank you for telling me how I feel.
I wasn't trying to do that.
No, sincerely, I'm trying to empathize.
That's nice.
I have a blog, a very popular blog.
The kind of blog that actually makes money.
Some, yes. Anyway, my point is I have an audience, and I would really love to share your perspective on the mistreatment and profiling of black squirrels with them. Your voice is a voice we're not hearing.
There's a reason for that. I have to be very careful about what I say if I want to keep my job.
Do you want to keep your job?
I have a mortgage and 2 squirrels in college, so yeah, keeping my job is a good idea.
We could do it anonymously. You wouldn't have to expose yourself if you didn't want to.
There are 2 Black employees on our entire force. Being anonymous would not keep me from exposing myself. And what makes you think I want my experience filtered through your lens?
I wouldn't even have to write it. You could write it, and I would give you a platform.
Why?
Why?
Why do you want to give me a platform? For the clicks? For the advertisers?
No, because people should know what's happening and how you feel about it.
Where were you last week?
I was right here.
Where is your platform when all the squirrels in the city are being eradicated, poisoned, killed every day? Why do you care when it only happens in your neighborhood?
We just moved here.
From where?
The city.
And were you writing about it then, when it was happening in your urban backyard? Or did you ignore it because it was enough neighborhoods away?
I was covering politics when we lived in the city. Crime wasn't my beat.
This is politics and economics and public health and civil rights. You don't get to compartmentalize slaughter into a little box that you don't have to cover.
Can I quote that? That was an amazing quote.
No. Are you going back out there tonight?
No, she's going...
I've committed to meeting up with some people.
Ooh.
Carla, Alice, people I met last night.
Maybe I'll see you there. Maybe you should go and keep an eye on her this time.
As if you were my keeper. That was insulting.
I didn't say it. Are you really going back out there? Isn't one protest enough?
There's going to be a memorial in the park for the slain squirrels tonight. I want to show my support.
Our park?
No, in the park I was in last night.
I really don't think it's safe.
Of course it's not safe, but do you realize that black squirrels are never safe? Their fur color makes them a target. You should have seen this park, Tom. So many squirrels. People can't afford exterminators over there, so some of them are really neglected, maybe even unwanted.
Sounds horrifying.
I think you may have been right about birth control. Now I understand why Carla does what she does.
Foster care?
Social work. They don't have the same resources over there. The squirrels, the people, but everyone I met was so nice.
Looters didn't look very nice on TV.
It's probably all they were showing, the same clips over and over again.
Well,
People post blankets and milk. They have such a sense of community, real community. Not like over here where people say such awful things behind closed doors.
you think they don't say terrible things about each other on the other side of the tracks?
Sorry, I'm sharing information.
About what? With whom?
About the movement with other members.
When did it become a movement?
Last night, I think. Or maybe that's when I became aware of it. I feel like I've been living in a bubble for so long, and now I'm woke, maybe for the first time. My whole body is tingling with possibility.
That might be sleep deprivation. Your grammar is slipping.
You should come tonight, Tom. You should feel this.
I wouldn't be comfortable around all those squirrels.
But if you want to write a story about their oppression,
What if the tanks come back?
then they come back. It's important that we stand in solidarity with the black squirrels so they know that we're not all like Bob, that we don't agree with the way animal control is treating them. Please come. They can't do it alone.
I might have a panic attack.
You could draft a speech.
Speech? I love speeches.
You're great at speeches. And since the squirrels have no voice, we're going to have to speak for them. Last night was a real education. I think I can really articulate their situation so that people understand. With my newfound experience in your way with words, this is going to be amazing.
But you would give the speech, and maybe I could watch it from home, make sure the DVR was working.
How are you going to be an author of the resistance if you can't stand in the midst of it?
Me? Author of the resistance?
The story is happening in your backyard. It's as if the universe is handing it to you.
Is it still my backyard?
If you want it to be. I never asked you to leave.
But yesterday you said you couldn't live here anymore.
I know. But I was thinking, if we sell the house, who knows who'll move in here? Some bigoted couple that fits in, things like Glinda and Bob. But if we stay...
We're challenging the status quo.
I mean, if we had squirrels, gray ones, black ones, it doesn't matter. This would not be a responsible place to raise them.
But if you really don't want squirrels...
I really don't.
I do love this house.
Me too.
Even though I think the squirrels damaged the shingles yesterday.
Even though there's some pain in it now.
No one gets through life without some pain.
No. Do you think the speech should start with the massacre or the brutality of animal control?
I've always wanted to be part of a movement.
Me too.
So much better than petitions.
Petitions can be part of a movement. I'm still doing those.
And then we can revisit the birth control issue.
Yes, but that can wait. This is more important. The speech. It needs to be palatable, approachable, to really get through to people. Remember, there will be news crews there.
We shouldn't let the squirrels screech into the microphones. People don't respond well to screeching.
Or destruction, even though that was just a few of them.
I have to admit, I loved watching those little buggers tear the siding off of Bob and Linda's house.
I did too.
But it's wrong.
Absolutely wrong.
We have to show them that's not the way. The squirrels really need someone to act in their best interest, redirect them from that sort of thing.
To model acceptable behavior.
Yes. Otherwise, how will they know?
About the rules.
Obviously, squirrels have no rules. Maybe someday they'll evolve.
But for now, we have to show them the way. Show them the work.
Yes, they're the ones who need to do the work. We'll have to help them understand that they need to take responsibility. Squirrels have to stop stealing people's garbage and running into the street and ruining people's gardens. If squirrels behaved in a more civilized fashion, people wouldn't call in animal control.
Or feel compelled to take matters into their own hands.
They wouldn't have these confrontations in the first place.
It's really good of us to help the squirrels,
Especially since we don't have any of our own.
especially the black squirrels.
We're good people, aren't we?
We are.
I love you.
I love you too.
Are we going to be happy?
Maybe. Definitely maybe.
Wife goes back to composing speech. Man reads as she types. They're so excited. Lights fade. End of play.
Great job, everyone. Really lovely work today. Thank you. And that was the Squirrel Plays, written by Mia McCullough. We will be back in about 5 minutes for a talk back, a live talk back with myself, the cast, and Mia will be joining us as well. She is our playwright. So please come back and see us and ask all the burning questions you might have from the play that you just watched. Next week, on July 3rd at 1:00 p.m., we will have a reading of Tartuffe, written by Moliere, adapted by Bobby Bell. If you saw Lysistrata, it's the same playwright who adapted Lysistrata for us. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, we love creating these for you folks at home. We're so lucky to continue to create art in this very strange time. So please stay safe, stay healthy, and always, always, always spread love. We'll see you soon.